The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of Lexington Community Radio or its board of directors. The views expressed are solely those of the programmers.
You are listening to Off the Cuff. Now, here's your host, Adam Banks.
Welcome, everybody, to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks, coming at you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for tuning in to WLXU 93.9 FM. In addition to listening to us on the radio, you can check out our Facebook live stream at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, or you can download the Radio Lex app on your smartphone device to listen to us anywhere in the entire world. Amber Turner and I are both broadcasting from the Deborah Hensley Studios here at Radio Lex on North Limestone. Amber, it is July the 28th, 2022, and I want to start the show off talking about the disastrous floods that we have been experiencing in our home place. Yeah. Eastern Kentucky has been hit very hard with some flooding. Residents were left stranded in their homes, and vehicles were left just floating around, and a lot of power outages around the Eastern Kentucky area. Now, according to a little bit earlier, because you know how things are always changing.
Oh, yeah.
The poweroutage.us showed 21,408 customers are without power in the state.
Oh, I would believe, and I would say it's probably definitely more.
Yes, and it's very scary. I saw this storm coming around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I said, uh-oh, this ain't going to be good. And usually I'm not a very weather village person. I don't know much about the weather, don't watch the weather, think it's boring.
No.
But for some reason, I was aware that this was coming, and sure enough, laid down, took a little bit of nap, woke up around 5, and realized that it has completely engulfed Eastern Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
And in particularly, the place that we are from, both of us, Knott County, it hit Knott County really hard. I've got family in Knott County. I've got family in Letcher County. My dad lives in Letcher County. I just now heard from my dad. Just now. Right before we came on the air, we was actually walking into the studio, and he called me and told me he was okay.
Yeah.
You know how hard that was to go through today, not knowing if your dad was alive or not?
Oh, yeah, because it's been, well over 12 hours since this has kind of been going on, and we've had no communication with people back home, and we're just now getting to hear, because all we've been able to see is what people are showing us, and it's just complete devastation. So it leaves you to wonder.
The pictures on Facebook that I've been seeing of the areas that we know so well, that are usually so beautiful and bright and just gorgeous to look at, it's underwater. It's completely just... it's been destroyed.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people are still searching for their loved ones. They're trying to get in touch with their loved ones because they can't get a hold of them on the internet, on the phone. And a lot of places are engulfed with water, so you can't cross the road. Mm-hmm. You can't cross bridges because a lot of bridges have collapsed.
They're out.
So you can't get to your family members and your friends, the ones you love, just to check on them. So I know that you are chomping at the bit wanting to get out and check on your family folks, but do not venture out if you live in these areas in Eastern Kentucky, because you could end up in some flood water.
Very easily.
And that is a very dangerous situation. Don't try to cross flood water, because it could wipe your car away.
Uh-huh.
And take it away. Governor Andy Beshear said we are seeing one of the worst, most devastating flooding events in Kentucky's history. He said at his press conference that water is in most places in Eastern Kentucky. Officials have confirmed 2 people have died in Perry County and 1 person has died in Knott County. And of course, this is just what I have right now. It could have been updated. At least 6 counties have declared local states of emergency: Breathitt, Clay, Floyd, Letcher, Owsley, and Pike. But that's not all of the counties that were hit. Like I said, Knott County was hit. Perry County was hit. Leslie, Magoffin County was hit. Mm-hmm. And there have been a lot of shelters in different towns. A lot of businesses are creating shelters.
Yes, they are.
A lot of churches are opening up. Find out that information in your local area to see where you and your family could get to. I've been trying to keep up with it as much as I can, but it's just devastating, Amber, because it hits me. And I know it has to hit you too, because this is where we're from.
Yeah, these are our people.
These are our people, and I know how hard Eastern Kentuckians already have it.
Oh, we already don't really have accessibility to health care and emergency services, and here they are in a devastation. And what do you need in these?
And
health care and emergency services.
And people in Eastern Kentucky, they work hard. They're good people. They don't. A lot of them don't have much. And what they do have, they take good care of it. They have good pride in it. And then just seeing it being swept away in water, watching these people's homes just being carried away in water. I've seen trailers just floating around in it look like a river. And that's people's homes. It's like, can these people in Eastern Kentucky catch a break?
Not right now. I mean, we've seen, we had a massive tragedy, not even a month ago, in the next county over in Floyd County at Allen. And then now we have this. It's just complete devastation everywhere you turn back home.
It is. And I just am devastated over it. I am sure that, I was listening to Governor Beshear come on and speak a little bit about the devastation, and he said that he will declare it a, what do you call that? A national disaster?
State of emergency.
State of emergency. Yes. There were 2 deaths in Knott County.
Yes.
Now. 2 deaths in Knott County. So yes, and the numbers just probably will keep coming in. Beshear said that he expects a ton of deaths from this.
I can literally, from what we are seeing, I'm looking at, places like Fleming Neon, that town just as much as I do. And it's 8 feet underwater. And,
yes.
That's where we're from. And everywhere that we've known and we've loved and the memories we have are washing away along with our families and our families' belongings. And I don't know. This is devastation.
It is devastation, and it's not something that's a quick fix. This is going to take years to repair.
Absolutely.
People getting their homes back, getting their lives and back on track, their land back to where it needs to be. It's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to take a long, long time. And as a family in Eastern Kentucky, we just stick together. And speaking of that, I mean, the camaraderie that I've just seen online from the people of the mountains, it just doesn't get any better than this. I mean, people risking their own lives to go out, to get to people, to rescue them on boats like they're on the Titanic.
Oh, I know.
And I mean, they're taking canoes out there to get to people. And how awesome is that?
If you would have told me a week ago I would see jet skis just going down the roads in Garrett, I would have told you were lying.
And people getting trapped on their roof, climbing to the roof because they don't want to get washed away in the water. People are rescuing people from the roof. Didn't you say you had some family?
Yeah, my aunt and my uncle. I heard from, my sisters, and they let me know that my aunt and my uncle had to be rescued off the roof. And we've seen pictures of people who are bedbound and the water's all the way up to their bed. I think I've seen at least one of those. People just waiting. I think that's been the thing. It's been the waiting part.
Yeah.
Watching the water rise and just the wait.
It is very scary situation. It's a very sad situation, a devastating situation. And, of course, I'm sure there will be more on this story as it develops throughout the day, and we'll keep you posted on it as much as we can on our website and all of our social medias. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We still have lots more off the cuff coming at you live after these words. Stick with us. Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. Here on Off the Cuff, for the last couple of weeks, one of our main themes of the summer, we've been discussing one-hit wonders. Amber, haven't you enjoyed it?
Oh, I love one-hit wonders.
Everybody loves a good one-hit wonder. What would we do without them? A one-hit wonder is someone, an artist, who doesn't have much work, hasn't done much. I don't know what happened to our audio there. hasn't done much work, but has only done really one piece of work that they're known for.
Yeah.
So, like this in particular song by Tony Basil, Hey Mickey.
That's the best one-hit wonder, I think, of all of them.
Why does it sound now that it's in a tin can?
I don't know.
There we go.
Hey.
This is a one-hit wonder, Amber, from the 1980s. Maybe a huge one-hit wonder. Maybe the biggest one-hit wonder of the 1980s. This was Tony Basil. She came out with this hit, Mickey, in 1982. Have you heard of it?
Maybe a time or two. Not much, though.
If we're talking about one-hit wonders, you got to put this person on the list. So, what we're going to do today, folks, is we've discussed one-hit wonders previously on the show. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the best one-hit wonders of the 2010s. Then we talked about the best one-hit wonders of the 2000s. Then we talked about the greatest one-hit wonders of the 1990s last week. Well, this week on the show, let's talk about the best one-hit wonders of the 1980s.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So we'll start the list off with Mickey, Tony Basil. And remember, you've got to be a one-hit wonder, you've really only done one piece of work that you're known for.
Yeah.
Anything else that you've done, people don't really know. They couldn't really name another song that you have sang.
Yeah.
So now this next person that I'm going to put on this list could be argued as a one-hit wonder or not, but when I researched this band, come to find out they were definitely a one-hit wonder of the 1980s. Twisted Sister came out with this smash hit, We're Not Gonna Take It. Two more of their singles hit the charts, but they wouldn't even crack the top 40. This is the only song that did.
Yeah.
The lead singer, Dee Snider.
Not Wallace.
I was about to say Wallace. She's from E.T., right?
She's from E.T.
The mom from E.T.
Yeah.
Dee Snider, we actually got to meet him at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And he was hanging out with Mick Foley.
And we were hanging out with Mick Foley.
That was really cool.
Yeah, it was a good time.
But this song, We're Not Gonna Take It, huge back in the 1980s. Rock and roll, it was the time to be in rock and roll in the 1980s.
Was that the hair metal band era?
Yes.
Yes, I love it.
So they fit right in.
Yes.
But they were in an era that they really couldn't grow out of.
No.
Because that era didn't last long.
No.
And neither did Twisted Sister. But you know, it's crazy. This was a huge hit.
Yeah, it was.
I really thought they were bigger than this. I thought Twisted Sister would have had a whole album of greatest hits, but they don't.
See, now this ain't my favorite one by them, though.
What's your favorite one?
Come on, feel the noise.
Right, didn't even hit the top 40.
Well, I never said I had good taste now.
All right, coming in next on the one-hit wonder list of the 1980s. We got to put this on here. This is Bobby McFerrin. He had a smash hit called Don't Worry, Be Happy. This song has lived on way past Bobby McFerrin's life and career. I heard this song just the other day in a commercial.
This song cracks me up because, you know, the message is beautiful, positive, and it's got Robin Williams in the music video for it.
Well, it's a catchy tune. It's joyful. It's a positive vibe. It just puts a smile on your face.
Yeah.
The song was #1 in many charts, including the United States. It won a Grammy Award and has been used in many pop culture references to date. It's by far the most popular song among one-hit wonders of the 1980s.
Oh, I can agree with that.
I guess when people get one-hit wonders, they're thinking to themselves, I guess I just proved everybody wrong and I made it and I don't have nothing else to prove, and they kind of give up.
He said, don't worry, be happy. I got me one good song.
I'm sure it made him good money. I'm sure his family gets some type of royalty whenever that song's played.
I'm sure his estate has to.
It's played in TV shows. It's played in commercials.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere. All right, moving on to another one-hit wonder of the 1980s. Soft Cell. They had this smash hit, Tainted Love.
Sometimes I feel I've got to run away, I've got to.
Nobody heard from this duo ever again, so it was two guys who was in this little group called Soft Cell. They were kind of like the pop version of Brooks and Dunn in the 80s.
Gosh.
Well, not really, because Brooks and Dunn had like 50 hits.
I was going to say, they weren't one-hit wonders.
But these guys, unfortunately, were. This was the only song that they released that people really connected with in the 80s.
Yeah.
All right, another one-hit wonder of the 1980s, Amber. You can't do a list and not put turn on a movie, you definitely hear it.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, another one-hit wonder of the 1980s that I feel like is one of the greatest to ever be a one-hit wonder.
Oh no, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher.
Eddie Grant came out with this awesome song, Electric Avenue. You know, we've talked about weddings on the show before and things that you can do to get the group up dancing at a wedding reception. This is a great song, too.
Oh, you throw that on. I'm out there. I'm on my way.
We're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher.
Now, to be fair, Eddie Grant, he did have a couple other songs on the charts, and they had respectable spots, 53 and 26. But Electric Avenue has still remained his biggest song to date, and it's the one song people can name of Eddie Grant.
Yeah.
Can you name another song by him? There we go.
Electric
Hence
Avenue.
Why he is a one-hit wonder. And he released this in 1983, so he didn't make it too far throughout the 80s.
Well, I mean, look at him, though. We're in 2022. We're still rocking it.
Yes.
So.
Well, that's the beauty about a one-hit wonder. 20, 30, 40 years later, people are still talking about you.
Oh, yeah.
So to be a one-hit wonder, you really have to come out with at least one good song.
To stick around this long, yeah, you got to put out a bomb.
And it's better to be a one-hit wonder than a no-wonder.
And a no wonder, exactly.
Then you're just the boy wonder. That's all you are. All right, another one-hit wonder of the 1980s. Bow Wow Wow.
Bow Wow?
No. Bow Wow Wow.
Okay.
I feel like gimmick infringement would be something that Bow Wow Wow could maybe pull on Little Bow Wow.
Bow Wow Wow.
Yes. That was the name of this band, Bow Wow Wow. The lead singer of this song, her name was Annabella Lewin. She was 15 years old when she recorded this cover.
Oh, my word.
In 1982. It's one of the most iconic 80s songs and one of the most memorable 80s songs. And it's been redone a couple of times. Aaron Carter actually did a remake of this.
Yes, he did. I loved it.
Do you like that?
That was my favorite version of this song.
All right, another one-hit wonder, ladies and gentlemen, of the 1980s is...
You got what I need, but you say he's just a friend, and you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need, but you say he's just a friend.
This is a song that has been used in commercials. It's been used in movies as well. Biz Markie is this guy's name. He had this smash hit, Just a Friend. And it seems like that after creating a song like this, he was just maybe the new name of, just a new face of rap. Maybe just not the face of rap, but just a new guy on the block.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this was the only thing that resonated with his fans.
Well,
Was this song right here. But it made him a one-hit wonder.
I remember one time, this is, I guess, about 5 years ago, Wiley and I heard this song out somewhere, and I'm singing it because everybody knows this chorus, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, not Wiley. I said, buddy, how'd you make it to be 35 and not know his song?
I bet Wiley don't even know how to do the YMCA.
Bet he don't either.
All you do is spell out YMCA with your arms, people. Oh my gosh. But yes, such a great song. This was by Biz Markie. And unfortunately, it was the only thing that connected with fans, like I said. But yeah, so many one-hit wonders that have been in existence throughout the 1980s that I didn't even put on this list. There was Cutting Crew, I Just Died in Your Arms.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm just dying in your arms tonight.
It must have been something you said.
Oh, what about this one?
Oh, yes.
This is Take On Me. Mm-hmm. Who sang this?
Is it Kangaroo? No.
This person was such a one-hit wonder, I don't even remember their name. But they had a great song that may be one of the coolest videos of the 80s, too. But some, Aha is their name.
Aha.
But some more one-hit wonders of the 1980s, ladies and gentlemen, that we didn't play. Our House. The song Our House.
In the middle of the street.
Yes. That was by Madness. The Bugles, they sang that song, Video Killed the Radio Star. Video killed the radio star. There is the Weather Girls. They sing that song, It's Raining Man. Hallelujah, it's raining man.
Sounds like a terrible time to me.
Diego on the show thread, he says, Bobby McFerrin is so good, though. He has amazing music. He has an amazing album with Yo-Yo Ma. Apparently, Diego knows his Bobby McFerrin, Amber.
Well, Wiley said whatever.
For not knowing the YMCA?
Not knowing the YMCA.
Or not knowing the end of...
Or not even knowing Biz Markie, Just a Friend. Who doesn't know that song? If you're over the age of 30, you should know that song.
You should know that song.
Yeah.
Disappointed, Wiley.
Disappointed.
But that, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up the one-hit wonders of the 1980s. Amber, should we call it quits?
No.
With the one-hit wonders? Have we covered enough decades?
No. There is never enough time. We've never covered enough. I think we can do the 70s.
You think we can do the 70s?
Oh, absolutely. I have great faith.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do is next week, hopefully, tentatively, we will do the 1970s, the best one-hit wonders of the 1970s.
Yes.
And we'll see how that goes. Now, if it's to the point to where I'm not recognizing any of these songs, there's no point of doing the 60s. But if I
We
start...
just have to expand your musical library then.
But, I'll start listening to these songs and be like, yeah, I've heard of these. So, hey, we might go all the way back to the 40s.
Hey, take it. Right on back.
We might do that. But I have enjoyed the topic. I feel like our fans our listeners have enjoyed the topic. I think they've really enjoyed the theme of the one-hit wonders.
Yeah, some great music that people have just forgotten even existed. Sometimes people forget about these.
Exactly. And just know, ladies and gentlemen, that if we haven't mentioned a one-hit wonder that we should have, put it up on the show thread, and we will definitely talk about it. But we're going to take another break, ladies and gentlemen, so stick with us. We'll be right back.
This will be an everlasting love. This will be the one I've waited for. This will be the first time anyone has loved me.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me.
And I'm so glad that you rectified my mind.
Here on the show, we've talked about weddings for the last several episodes. And the reason being is because, folks, we are slap dab in the middle of wedding season. Many people are getting married, and they usually are hot and heavy during these summer months. So I feel like it's appropriate to have this theme continued. We've been talking about entertainment at weddings because one thing that we learned while talking on this show is the one thing people regret at their wedding reception is not having good entertainment. They wish they would have had better entertainment. And even the guests wish that they would have had better entertainment. And on the show, we've talked about the best songs to get group dancing up on the dance floor. We've talked about the best send-off songs for the last night of the last song to play for the end of the night. Well, this week, I would like to continue our wedding theme, and I would like to give the audience the best first dance songs for the wedding couple.
Okay.
Now, for those who are looking to get married, you're probably trying to listen to a plethora of music to come up with what song should me and my husband or me and my wife dance to after we say the vows. And a lot of people like to go with that corny, that slow stuff, but the first dance is very important. You got to think. It's not just for you, it's for your guest.
Yeah.
So you want to come out maybe with something a little spunky like this one?
It's a good one.
This will be an everlasting love.
Oh.
You hear this in movies a lot.
You do.
A lot of movies will play this. So you kind of get the drift of what I'm talking about. This is a good first dance song for a couple to dance to. This will be, because it's not sappy, it's not
upbeat.
slow, it's upbeat.
Keep the mood in a good, going in a good direction.
Exactly. Now, you could slow it down a little bit and
Yeah.
well, you could slow things down even more and get a little sappy by playing the King.
Wise men say only fools.
I think this is one of the most romantic songs in the world. It's called Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley. This is Elvis's favorite encore song. People would love Elvis to sing this song over and over and over at his shows. And, I mean, who doesn't want to hear the King serenade you with this love song? A great first dance song. It's very romantic and it's short, simple, and to the point. I mean, the runtime of the song is only 2 minutes 57 seconds, so it's not going to be a long dance.
You can be dancing too long.
Like a river.
All right, another first dance song for the wedding couple could be this one. And this one is also another song that is kind of an oldie, but it gives you a vibe of just good memories, good feelings, good energy.
Yes.
It's Ben E. King, Stand By Me. It's a good first dance song for a wedding couple. It's classy.
When the night has come,
I think if you do decide
the
to
land is dark.
do a dance like this, you might want to practice. You might want to take some dance lessons. Because do you think people really know how to accurately slow dance?
I don't, so I'd say most people probably don't.
With the man's hand around the woman's waist and the other hand is holding her hand.
Yeah.
And then her hand is placed on his back. Yes, that's actually the proper way to slow dance. But a lot of times we have that high school mentality where we put our arms around the girl and the girl just wraps her arms around our waist and we just kind of dance.
I feel like you watching me and Wiley in the kitchen making fun of us.
No, that's every high school student of all time. It's a 1961 classic. A lot of your guests will be familiar with the song because a lot of old people go to weddings. And it's a crowd pleaser. You could start your evening off on a good foot by playing a song like this for your guest.
No, I agree.
Now, this next song is by far my favorite. And this actually, if I ever do decide to tie the knot, this actually might be the song that I play because I'm going to sing it. Song that you could add to your list of first dance songs for the wedding couple could be Ed Sheeran, because it's modern and it's very romantic. And if you want to add a modern song that is not an oldie, this is the song I think I would go with.
Will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheek?
What do you think of the list, Amber?
I think you put us together a good list.
I think that, folks, if you're looking for a good first dance song to dance with your wife or husband with, take our advice here on Off the Cuff. There is several songs that you could choose from, and I think that your guest would really be happy of your song selections.
Yeah.
People fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just the touch of a hand.
Your DJ is very important. It's crucial to have a good DJ. And there are some important questions that you want to ask your DJ on wedding day. You want to ask if they've ever worked at the wedding venue that you're having the wedding at before.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they're familiar with the venue, they already know what works, what doesn't, what songs they can play that's going to echo, that's not going to echo.
Well, and ain't nothing going to make you madder than when your DJ can't set up properly because they don't know their area.
You also need to ask them, what items are we responsible for providing you?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to assume that they're just going to bring everything.
Yeah.
They should.
What you need from me.
But you need to ask them. Okay? You also need to make sure that you ask them how long they've been a DJ and how many weddings they've done.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to be their first.
No. No.
Another question is there an option to add additional time if the evening ends up going over the scheduled time? You want to ask that
one.
Because, folks, you might only have the DJ till 11, but Uncle Henry wants to go till 2. Mm-hmm. So, do you have a overtime rate? What is it?
Or are you going to have to pull the boombox out?
Exactly. Another question is, what happens if you get sick on our wedding day and can't come?
Oh.
Now, one of my buddies is a DJ for weddings, and I know that he always has a backup person.
That's cool.
Always, just in case he's sick.
That's cool.
Yeah. That should be, if you are an independent DJ, you should definitely have that kind of thought process.
Oh, yeah.
But if you are from a DJ company, they usually will always have somebody else on deck for you.
Yeah.
But that's an important question. You also need to ask them this simple question: what do you plan on wearing to our wedding? Because you got to think a wedding is very formal. Mm-hmm. Ask your DJ if what they plan on wearing, let them answer. And if you want them to dress a little nicer, you need to let them know. Mm-hmm. If they need to wear a tie, you need to let them know.
This is a formal affair.
Because I know that the guy that used to do our school dances at Beaver Creek used to wear sweatpants and sweatshirt.
Yeah, he did.
Literal jogging pants.
Literally.
So,
well, he knew we was going to be out there just cutting the rug on that dance floor.
He read the room, just a bunch of middle schoolers. But on a wedding day, you might want your DJ to look a little bit more formal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take Off the Cuff's Song of the Week. Amber, are you ready for that? And it is such a beautiful day outside. And I say that, but again, it's a little gloomy because our hometown of Eastern Kentucky is still just devastated by the horrific event that happened yesterday. So I don't want to say it's beautiful, but to get your mind off of that for just 4 minutes, let's take Off the Cuff's Song of the Week break with a little Bobby Brown humping around. How about that? And before we do take that song, I guess it would be good if I stopped Ed Sheraton, wouldn't it? Because nobody wants to hear a slow song for Off the Cuff Song of the Week.
No. Unless
it's a banger. And Ed Sheraton, I love you, but not to the point to where I'm going to make you Off the Cuff Song of the Week. So enjoy a little Bobby Brown humping around. We'll be back after the song. Denise says on the show thread, she says, I Can't Help Falling in Love with You was her wedding song.
Aww.
I'm sure a lot of people were listening, probably heard some songs that we played where they were like, you know what?
That was mine.
That was mine. I played that at my wedding. I told you guys I have good taste. Diego says on the show thread, he says, I wonder if Aquarius / Let the Sunshine is a one-hit wonder. It must be because
I don't know it.
I don't know it. Let's see. Also on the show thread, Wiley says, you forgot Come On, Eileen.
Eileen, come on, Eileen. Oh, I swear what I mean. I messed that up.
That's true, yes. That is a good song. Well, Wiley, you're more of an 80s kid than I was, so Wiley knows those 80s songs.
No, we don't. He didn't know Biz Markie.
That's true. You know what? That's even more disappointing.
Yeah.
Because what year was Wiley born? 1980.
1882.
We know that, but well seriously, I'm putting you on the spot.
1982.
1982.
Yeah.
I thought you said 1882.
Well, I did, but 1982.
1982. Wiley probably knows a ton of 80 songs.
Mm-hmm.
I bet Wiley was waiting on this decade more than like we were with the 90s.
Probably.
Well, Wiley, I'm sure. I hope we didn't disappoint you with the list that we played. But I think we got the majority of the biggest one-hit wonders of the 80s, didn't we?
I think so, yeah. I mean, there's always going to be some that we miss, but I think you hit the big ones.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take one more segment to go, so stick with us. We will be right back after these words. Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. Last segment of the hour. What are you laughing at?
Is this Johnny Be Good?
It is.
Johnny Be Good.
You can tell it's the end of the show. We're getting a little slap happy. Amber, you didn't go to this event with me. Last weekend, I went to some wrestling.
Yeah, you went and watched a little wrestling.
Went and watched a little wrestling, a local OVW show in Lexington. It was put on by OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling. It was awesome.
Well, you should have asked them why they never called me back.
Well, as a wrestling fan, I really enjoy it. There was just something about going to that event and seeing the wrestling ring.
Yeah.
I was really worried about going because I didn't know how fun it would be because it's OVW.
Well, and plus it was hot that day.
Yeah, and I was thinking, OVW, it's might not be the best time. But I went, and as soon as I seen the ring, I had a good time.
Yeah.
As soon as I seen the 4x4 ring, I was just like, I got to get into the groove here.
Yeah, you said the squared circle.
The squared circle, and I was very excited. It was a blast. They put on a really good show. The superstars of the OVW couldn't have been nicer.
Yeah.
I met Skidmark from Tough Enough.
Yeah.
The season that Stone Cold hosted.
Yeah.
I met Skidmark.
Oh.
I met some of the faces of OVW. I met Luscious Lawrence, who apparently is turning into a heel because he didn't look as luscious as he normally does.
I was going to say, is he luscious?
But everybody was very talkative. They were very just down to earth.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like we had VIP tickets to this show, but we didn't. But the reason it felt VIP because the wrestlers were just walking around like we were backstage.
Yeah, just talking to everybody.
Just talking. And it was very cool. I had a really good time. And I think anybody that enjoys wrestling would have had a good time at that show.
Oh, yeah.
But, Amber, speaking of wrestling, the godfather of wrestling, Vince McMahon, has announced he has officially retired as the president and CEO of the WWE. I never did think I would ever see this day come, but I know why it did.
Yes.
We all know that we all know that Vince McMahon tried to cover up claims of sexual misconduct and infidelity, and he has been found to have paid around $14.6 million from 2006 through 2022 as hush money to different women that he had sexual relations with. The payments were made to the 4 women who were formerly associated with the WWE, including the former paralegal that he had working for him, a former wrestler who alleged that McMahon had coerced her into performing oral sex. So Vince McMahon, he's in a ton of trouble.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that he is stepping down from the company. You can't use company money as hush money, Vince.
No.
That's a big crime. It's a big felony. You can't do that. But to say Vince McMahon is really retired is silly. He's not. Vince McMahon's done this before. If you remember in the 90s, he went through a whole scandal with the steroid trial where he was about to go to jail, prison for years. 15 federal prison for a federal crime of giving his wrestlers steroids. So when he was going through that, he stepped down as CEO and gave it to his wife.
Yep.
So here he is being investigated again. He steps down as president and CEO and gives it to his daughter. To me, it seems like a pattern. I predict that by 2024, Vince McMahon will be back in full control as president of the WWE. I do not think he's ready to ride off to the sunset.
No, absolutely not.
But if he is, thank you, Vince, for everything you have done for the wrestling industry. Without you, there would be no wrestling today. Without you, wrestling would not be where it's at. You made Monday the highlight of my week for many years. You made my life for many years. You still bring me entertainment thanks to the WWE Network that I get to go back and watch. But the entertainment that you created, I just want to express my gratitude very much.
Oh, no, I agree. I mean, I think as long as he's breathing, he's still creating. And I think that's the one thing that, as a wrestling fan, we can all kind of go down with is, I agree with you. What kind of angle is this? People are forgetting that wrestling was great when we had angles. I'm sure this is going to be another one.
I've been loving the memes that I've been seeing online because there's always storylines.
Oh, yeah.
And there's always a storyline of Stephanie, which is Vince's daughter, trying to take over the company, and her husband's trying to boot Vince out. So there's all these pictures that they've had from the past of storylines with Triple H and Stephanie standing over Vince's bloody body, holding their hands up. And now it's so weird and ironic that that's kind of the reality.
Oh, yeah.
Vince is laying on his back, bloodied, as his daughter and his son-in-law own the company that he created.
Uh-huh.
But that was the plan to begin with. He probably planned to pass it down to his kids.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that Shane O'Mac isn't as involved.
Nah.
But because he was just like his old man.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. It would be amazing if Shane McMahon were involved more heavily. It'd be amazing.
He was just like his old man, and I was like, well, the WWE will always be in good hands because of Shane McMahon. But think about what all Vince has done. He created WrestleMania, which is one of the greatest creations he ever had. Mm-hmm. He started the WWE Network, which allowed us to go back and watch all of those great events. He took pro wrestling mainstream during the Attitude Era, and not to mention that Attitude Era roster that he had. Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, The Undertaker. Can't
match it.
Can't match it. Vince McMahon going through that Monday Night War with WCW for 5 years. What about the Wrestling War? He put them out of business. Every wrestling company out of business.
And did it himself.
Under his leadership, he now has WWE up to over 1 billion followers on all social medias.
Wow.
So, Vince, you've done a lot. I could do a whole show about what you've done, but I'm not ready to do that until your retirement show. Because, Vince, you're not retiring. You just said it because this is something that your lawyer told you to say. This is something that you're probably having to do to make it better on your case. But for the most part, I think you'll be back. But ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps up another episode of Off the Cuff. We are unfortunately out of time. If you want to listen to all of our previous episodes, subscribe to us on podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. You can also follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. You can follow the co-host on social media at Ambu447. You can follow me, the host, on social media as well at The Adam Banks. We release new episodes every Thursday from 4 to 5 right here on Radio Lex, WLXU 93.9 FM, which means we will be back. Same time, same place, 4 o'clock, right here on 93.9 FM. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Ember Turner. I'm Adam Banks, and this is Off the Cuff. We'll catch you down the road.
Now let me see you shake it like a rump shaker. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 zoom.